I don't give a fuck, just sell it. I don't care. Guys, this is conversations I have occasionally with clients. I'm over my business. I want to sell it. I'm just done, right? Now, here's the thing. When you go and sell any asset, whether it's a car, a house, your business, there is emotion attached to it because you've been living there or you've been operating that business forever. There is emotion there. The first thing I would say is when we're thinking about selling a business, we've got to remove that. We've got to make it really more transactional. Now it sounds like he's the accountant, the emotionless guy, which we can be sometimes, but you've got to remove that and think about as it a transaction and remove that emotion. And look, I know it's very easy to get into that trap of that emotional piece. Like when I've sold previous homes that I've owned or previous properties, there has just been this scenario where I think it's worth a whole lot more than it is. Now, the reality is what I think it's worth and what the market is willing to pay are two different stories, two different scenarios. First of all, it's get your expectations real and think about your business as being a transaction when it's sold. The next thing I would say that's really important is you've got to be actually ready for you even thought about a sale. Because when it comes to selling your business, any purchaser who's going to buy it, they're going to give your accounts, your information to their accountant to come back and work out a valuation on what it's worth. What I mean by you got to think about it before you even thought about selling is that the accountant's going to ask for the last 3 years of financials because they want to see patterns. They want to see what growth projections, what's been happening in that business over that last 3 years. Because the numbers tell a story. Us accountants, we can read it, we can see a story and see what's happening. But that is so important. Really, it's if this is a knee-jerk reaction where you're like, I just want to sell my business, and your numbers are presented poorly, maybe you've got poor data, poor information, that is then going to reflect on when it comes to selling your business. Because you're not telling them, people are not going to listen. They'll listen to part of it, but they're not going to take everything that you're saying as a verbal, as is what it is. Sales are really $5,000 a week, but it works out on average it's like $2,000 a week. Now, that sort of stuff, if the numbers are not presented what you're saying, there's a mismatch, that's going to affect what you earn or what you receive in that purchase price, that sale price, right? So having clean financials for the last 3 years, because we're going to ask for that, and then you really want to get together what are the assets you're selling, and then also what is essentially goodwill. So what clients, what contracts have you got in place, all that sort of stuff, package that together, and you've got to think about all that stuff together because that is what your future buyer is going to want and determine how much they're paying for your business. Any comments, questions, leave them below.